Okay, welcome back. In this video, we'll talk about the apps that need to be on your smartphone to optimize the use of your Healy. Let's start with the Pink app. Make sure you download the newest one. There are two Pink apps, and the second one is a lot better. You could search Healy 2, number 2, in your App Store or Google Play Store, or Healy Mag, MAG. The Healy Mag, we'll talk about it a bit later. It is the newest addition to the Healy family and is a dual frequency, amazing device. The latest Pink app works with both of those devices. We call them the Pink app and the Blue app in the frequency family community. The main difference between the old Pink app and the new Pink app is that there are less glitches. There are no notifications. You will see a wave line that Fernanda was talking about in the previous video instead of a circle. And importantly, you can access frequency programs and their descriptions right from the program, along with a link to the Healy Academy and the Help Center. Do you want to talk about the program groups?
Yeah, in terms of the program groups, what you see in your app is dependent on the model that you have. So everybody that gets a Healy is going to have the gold programs. Those are the basic module programs that come with every single Healy. And those are the ones we recommend that you start with. Those gold programs are amazing. Pure is my absolute favorite. My kids ask for it all the time. And it's essentially a detox for your body. So I suggest get to know that program well when you first get your Healy. You're going to want to use those gold programs well. And then depending on the model, you'll see that there are more programs available. And these programs are all different. You can kind of intuitively go in and pick programs that you feel that you need or want, but there is something called the Heal Advisor app, which is available after you have had your Healy for 2 weeks. It counts for that return policy period. And then you can go and download that app. It's different from the Pink and Blue apps. And it's amazing. It's like a Google for Healy. So you can put in something that you're feeling, like migraine, and it will suggest programs for you that might help you. And then you go into your Pink app and you run those specific programs that it's suggesting. So there's lots of different ways to figure out what program is going to be best for you. But just know for now, as you're getting started, those gold programs are where you're going to want to be. And you can intuitively guess which one is good for you. The Pure program is amazing to start with. The Release program is too. But it's up to you kind of where you want to dabble in that.
I love the Release. That's my favorite one.
Is it? Yeah.
Really, really beautiful. And I want to mention, if you're scrolling through your programs, you're now in the Pink app, familiarize yourself with the programs that you have so that you can really have that intuitive hit. Like today, for some reason, I was like, I need the pineal gland. I went into a meditation with pineal gland program, and it was so powerful for me. If you're finding that we're talking about programs that you don't have on your Pink app, it might be because of the model that you have. The hardware of your Healy, I tucked mine in where it goes all the time. Every Healy is going to look the same. It doesn't matter on the outside. The software, so the programs essentially that live in a medical cloud, is what you have access to. And that's what's going to be different depending on the Healy that you got. When I started, I got the Resonance Plus, and I really wanted the programs in the professional very soon after. So I ended up giving my Resonance Plus to Rob and getting the Pro. Another note, if you have one of the lower end models, if you're using the Healy Advisor app and there is a recommended program that comes up that you don't currently have on your Healy, you can go to the Healy website and get some of the programs a la carte. If you have the Pro, you likely have all of them.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's good to know. So that people with lower end models, you can basically, it's a subscription that you can sign up for to get certain programs that are in the higher end models. I have never seen anybody do that, at least in my experience. Everyone just waits until they can upgrade or until they can, sell enough Healys or get a free Resonance Plus and then upgrade that. There's lots of ways to get your hands on a pro if you have a lower end model and you're wanting to do the business side of things. And if that's not something that you're interested in and you want those higher end model programs, then the subscriptions are there for you. It's all on the website.
Perfect. So that's the gist on the Pink app. We'll quickly tell you a bit about the Blue app and just know that we'll go into a much more in-depth description of how to use it in one of the future videos. So for now, if you haven't downloaded it, go ahead and get it. The Blue app, just search Healy and it should come up. It works with the Resonance Plus, and the Pro, the 3 top models. I love the Blue app and use it pretty much on a daily basis. An important note, you cannot run the Pink and the Blue app at the same time. With the newest app, it actually won't let you. And if you still, for some reason, have the older Pink app, they can open at the same time, but they'll be super glitchy. So in the beginning of my Healy journey, when I didn't know this, I found this super frustrating. And I'm really glad that now, it's a little bit smoother.
Okay. The quantum sensor is amazing technology. It's absolutely beautiful technology. Essentially, what it's doing is that it's bringing you into alignment with your original bioenergetic blueprint. And there's many things that have worn us down over time since we were born, all the environmental factors, stress factors, EMFs, all the things. And so the Healy is assessing who you are in your wholeness. And it's saying, this is where you're at now. I'm going to provide you these frequencies, or here's a list of frequencies that you can send to yourself to bring you more into alignment with your energy, your original energy blueprint. And what's so unique about this is that there's no other healing frequency device that has a quantum sensor like this. This is patented technology that is, you're giving this feedback from Healy. You're given the feedback, and your body is then able to recalibrate and to bring you into that state of wholeness. One of the things that I love the most about what Healy's doing here is that as it's scanning you, every 10 seconds, it's able to, on a binary yes or no, see if that next frequency in line in a specific program is suitable for you or not. So not only is it suggesting a full range of different programs that are good for you, but individually within each one of those frequency programs, it's designing it just for you, which makes it super unique and marvelous, right?
And it also means that each time you run the same program, for example, Release is one of my favorites in the Gold series. Each time you run it, it's going to be a different mixture, recipe, cocktail, if you will, of frequencies. Each program, in this case, let's say Release, actually has a family of between 200 and 400 frequencies that on a binary are being offered and in real time communicating with the brilliant intelligence of your body. It's mind-blowing, isn't it?
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's like tuning a piano. It's tuning the strings. It brings you back to this exact frequency that where you're the most in tune as possible. And something that's so interesting too is that people sometimes say, how is this possible that Healy just knows these things? Like, how is it possible that it's reading your energy? And I say, well, 200 years ago, people didn't know that what emails would be, or what. And now we're able to assess. It's like a digital fingerprint was nonsense to people 200 years ago. And now we're talking about an energy signature, an energy fingerprint. And every single person has their own unique energy field and unique energy signature. And Healy is able to tap into every single person's unique energy signature and assess you from there. So I know it sounds hard to fathom, but it's 200 years from now, we're going to be like, oh my gosh, that was nothing. Just like people 200 years ago didn't understand digital fingerprints. It's where we're at.
Perfect. We covered this a little bit in the previous video, but I'll just want to talk about the range of frequencies one more time. When you look at the actual number in hertz, the number that shows up for the frequencies is not correlated to intensity. It's correlated to basically density. The lower numbers of frequencies are for the physical realm, and the higher numbers are correlated to the unseen elements like emotions, the spiritual realm, and even ancestral elements, ancestral stuff that you might be working with. You can think of the frequencies like stations on a radio dial. And what you're doing, what the Healy is doing every 10 seconds on the binary is changing the channel. The percentage that you run it as the volume, and that increases or decreases the intensity. So I really like that too. It's really quantum, what are we doing? Think of it that way as tuning the piano. There's the radio analogy as well. So hopefully that'll help us bridge this, because it really is mind-blowing, right?
Yeah, it is.
Concepts. This is quantum technology, and your state and your intention absolutely matter. So are you running the programs all day and you're on the go, or are you sitting down, laying down, and being an active participant in your healing? These are really big and important questions, and the difference is really significant.
Yeah.
This is your experience. So just ponder that. So I've had my Healy sometimes on the go, and I've had really remarkable experiences when I do make time and space to treat it as an actual session. An example that I can give you, I'm just recovering from tailbone surgery, and this was day one. This was day one. I was laying in bed and I had my computer open. You know how I am, I multitask. And I was drawn to the wound program in the Healy. I put it on, and within moments, it was as if there was a voice talking to me, asking me to shut the computer lid. And it was literally like, Katya, are you participating in your own healing? Or like, who's doing the work here? Who's responsible? So work with me here. And it wasn't a voice, but it was a very strong, deep, intuitive call to shut my computer lid down. And I did, and went into a deep meditation that felt so powerful. I never used painkillers once recovering from that surgery. I had the prescription and I thought, well, let's see what happens. So that's a whole other story, because I did use many different combinations of modalities and combinations of programs. It's also interesting what can happen. We'll talk about the resonance scan, and sometimes what Healy will suggest you need may be really unexpected for you. So recently I ran a scan and it suggested that I need the hormonal balance program, which surprised me because that's not one I would have picked on the day. So I started running it, and within minutes, my whole body felt heavy. My eyelids were heavy. I had to lay myself down for a nap, and I don't nap. The only time I've ever napped is when I'm really pregnant. I don't even nap when I'm sick. But running that program, it was as if my body immediately was asking me to be an active participant in my own healing. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's so powerful, Katya. And I love that it took you down for a nap too, because ironically, right, Derek Nakamura, who is one of the time waiver practitioners, when you purchase a expert program from him, if you do, he sends an email out to everybody and he suggests when and how to use his programs. And he says the best time is right before bed. because your program, it's a part of the programming of your subconscious mind. You have an intention and you can run a program on yourself right before bed, then it's going to also carry into your dreamscape. And either right before bed or right as you're waking up to, when you're kind of still in dream world, but you're not, you're also like the alarm has gone off once or twice kind of state. Those are good moments to run programs on yourself. So I think it's interesting. It knocked you down into that state of sleep because there's something that happens while we sleep that is especially for the energetic body. That's when we're really getting that replenishment. So being in bed, slowing down, being with our intentions, it's all part of the process. Of course, you can run a program on the coil while you're driving kids around. I do all the time, but I personally think it's not as effective as really sitting with your intentions and being in that more calm state where you're really going to be going into, different brain activation states.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We have more stories for you in the next video. We'll talk more about what Healy is and how we use it. See you there.
See you there.